Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. Government isn't stripping rights because you forgot to ask for them.
Imagine what it's like over here. It's such a big deal, mate.
He was gonna eat a baby! Like, this movie just gets everything right.
Especially with their teeth. How they're always, like, with the teeth. I don't know what it is with the teeth.
We're gonna butcher so many names throughout this episode. It's just gonna happen.
We're gonna try our best.
It's satire. Did you guys know? It's satirical. Good evening, brothers, sisters, and siblings, and welcome back to the Vibe Too Many podcast. I, of course, am your host, KJ Collelo, joined as always by
Ashton Byrne and Luna.
Our third co-host at this point. Shout out to Robin, who I'm gonna have beef with till the end of time now, because they edited the last episode and they did such a good job that I'm like, damn it, pressure's on me now. I wrote specifically Robin edit mogged me. I hope I'm using those words right.
It's like, what's up, cool kids? I got
hey,
edit mogged.
How do you do, fellow kids? Why don't you tell them about pre-ordering your shirt?
I have shirts. They're available through Rawpaw. They're having a design challenge.
Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. So, before we start today's episode, we have some conversationals going on. We want to talk about something funny or something bad. The disappointment comes in Nicholas Hoult, an actor I think we were both pretty big fans of.
Oh, he is in the Harry Potter bullshit.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Here is what might be a more nuanced take on it. Look, Harry Potter is really big in England, and I think they're looking at it as kind of like, put the politics aside and we get to be part of this great big franchise that mean a lot to a lot of kids. And a lot of the time, I don't even want to say a lot of the time, sometimes I do understand that. Like, I happen to be a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, despite all of H.P. Lovecraft's personal beliefs. The problem with that is H.P. Lovecraft can't hurt anyone right now, and the show is actively going to hurt trans people. And I think a lot of these actors, a lot of whom I'm actually fans of, I do think there is, like, that nuance of, like, oh, why are they taking these roles? Well, it's this big deal, like, this big cultural phenomenon in England. To me, that's still not worth it. You know what I mean? Because
you have to have, like, a spine to, like, stand your 2 feet with at some point.
Especially if you're someone like Nicholas Hoult or Nick Frost or John Lithgow. It's not like you don't have the money.
Yeah, like, you'll financially be fine.
You're fine.
Without Harry Potter.
100%.
He's a fucking Superman. He's fine. He has a decent checks.
Exactly. These 3 guys have careers regardless.
Imagine what it's like over here. It's such a big deal, mate.
Papa Esaidu? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. This is like his big break. I get taking the role like that. Like, that is something I can understand.
It sucks. It sucks that this is his big break.
Yo, acting is a job, and if you're not working, you're not an act. You know what I mean? And, like, the kids, they're kids. Yeah. They're fucking children. I'm not gonna hate on the kids for taking these roles. They're children. So, like, there are people I can put that aside. Someone like him, I get taking the role. You gotta work. But it is guys like Nicholas Hoult doesn't need to do this. I'm not gonna watch the show. I'm not gonna let my money go to something that is perpetuating hate, especially, not that I need this reason, but especially because people I love are trans, and they're the ones being hurt by this. The fact that she is making this show because the stars of her previous franchise were like, yeah, this is bad. She's really shouldn't be saying these things. And now she wants to funnel that money into anti-trans legislature, which is already something she's been doing.
And she's admitted she will do it again.
That's the goal of it. This isn't a criminal conspiracy. This is what she wants to do with it.
She has quite literally said exactly this word for word. That every time you buy Harry Potter merch, it goes to anti-trans legislature. It goes to my anti-trans homeless shelter that I built. It funds anti-trans shit.
To me, it's similar to, like, Chick-fil-A. If I'm directly funding this stuff, then I'm kind of part of the problem.
I've heard here and there that if you're into Harry Potter, you could also just read Percy Jackson.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, too.
Star Wars. She's never had an original idea. She's not a good writer, hence why you can't name more books written by her. I'm trying not to judge Nicholas Holt's entire personality on something that I firmly disagree with. You know what I mean? I've never met the guy. So I'm not going to stand here and I'm not going to give him more shit than I think he deserves. And I think he deserves a fair amount of shit for this. Because, dude, you don't need to do this.
He could just be in so many better things.
Yeah. And maybe he will
still
be.
Make him a lot of money.
Anyway, how about we hop in today's episode? We got all aboard, if you will. As promised, we are doing our trains episode. And funnily enough, we're taking the train to a specific destination. Like, this episode is all about the trains, but we are going to a specific destination. Because we are talking about 2 Korean films today. We're taking a train to Korea. That wasn't even intentional, by the way. We really just picked these 2 movies because out of like a shit post because we're like, oh, we could talk about train movies. We are starting back in 2013. We're boarding the train to 2013, if you will. We are going to the Korean-American hybrid film Snowpiercer, directed by Bong Joon-ho, based off the French comic book. Before we get really started, we're gonna butcher so many names throughout this episode. It's just gonna happen.
We're gonna try our best.
We are gonna try our best. I've looked up some pronunciation guides. Problem is, I'm a little dyslexic too, so sometimes words get jumbled in my brain and I mispronounce things. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're starting out with Snowpiercer, which is I think the first big Bong Joon-ho movie in America. He was already big in South Korea right off of Memories of Murder. But this one really, kind of solidified his name towards
in America, yeah, because he had Chris Evans in it. He had Captain America.
He had Chris Evans coming off Captain America, coming off the Avengers. I mean, this cast, up and down, is full of names, both Korean and American.
Tilda Swinton's also in this.
Tilda Swinton's really funny. Let's start with the cast, because I think it's
mystical in this.
I think it's a really solid cast. Chris Evans, this is one of my favorite Chris Evans performances, along with
best performance I've seen.
I don't think Chris Evans is the strongest performance in this, but he definitely does not hold the movie back in any sense of the word, especially with his physicality. Because he's doing some rough action sequences, and he was coming off doing Captain America, so when he's throwing those punches, you can see why he's taking down an army at times.
He also is just very charming, too, which you kind of need as somebody who's supposed to lead.
Jamie Bell also is pretty good in this. Jamie Bell's kind of had a rough career, which sucks because I think he is a pretty solid actor. But then they made him the Thing. They made him the Thing in the worst Fantastic Four movie.
I hate that that's really what... Oh.
And I feel like he hasn't really bounced back from it. But he's done good stuff since. Everyone else in that movie bounced from it. Everyone else...
That sucks.
Octavia Spencer, as well, I think is pretty damn solid in this movie.
Yes. You feel for her.
Yeah, I mean, they do. The first thing that happens in this movie is they strip her kids away.
But she also kicks ass in this. I mean, she's right there next to Chris Evans fighting a whole fucking army.
Let's talk about some of, the great performances in this. Ed Harris has, 1 or 2 scenes, and he's amazing.
Steals the show.
He plays, Wilford, who is, the engineer of the train. He designed the train. He's this cross between God and the devil.
A little bit of how God is kind of supposed to be a little bit selfish.
Like the Old Testament,
Yes, Old Testament violent God that admits in the Bible, he is a selfish God.
And Ed Harris, by the way, just saying, New Jersey's own.
New Jersey's own,
Ed Harris. The guy is great in kind of everything he does, but he just steals the show in this. Every line delivery, the way he plays it, just so calm and collected. And meanwhile, Chris Evans is coming up here.
But there's also a veil of shit to everything he says in that role.
Yeah, you
just want to fucking punch the guy.
Oh yeah, he is so punchable in this movie. But you also don't know what he says, if you can trust it or not.
Because when you interact with Tilda Swinton's character, she will also kind of just make shit up so that they don't kill her. She'll say whatever she thinks she has to say to get them to calm down. I feel like also with the kids too, it shows that he doesn't consider some people to be... It's kind of like Animal Farm, where it's like all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. He doesn't... They're not as equal as the other people as him, because they come from lower in the train.
He doesn't think, like, half the train is equal to the other. Like, that's his whole thing, is people are inherently better than others. Which is, it's a very fascist way of thinking, and that's the point of this movie. It's satire. Did you guys know? Satirical.
My favorite character was Tilda Swinton. She was so fucking good in this. She gets
the levity.
She's such an asshole in this, and I love it.
She's Tilda Swinton, born to just play a fucking freak, and boy does she. Just
the glasses, and just the slimy,
weird,
slithering, whiny little character she plays.
Almost looks like a precursor to Aunt Gladys from Weapons. Something Bong Joon-ho loves to put in movies is just someone being a fucking freak. Shout out to John Hurt in this film. John Hurt, maybe my favorite actor of all time. Just a classic great performance where you're, by the end of the movie, you're not sure what you feel about him. Everything up until then, you feel his death, and he's only got a few minutes on screen.
He does a great job at making you feel for this character. You have so little time with this guy.
Yeah, he radiates throughout the entire movie, even when he's not on screen.
You can feel every single minute with him.
And a part of that too is John Hurt's excellent performance. But also, I feel like with Gilliam as the character's name, him being such a part of the movie also comes from Bong Joon-ho's excellent writing, where you hear about the backstory about the first few weeks on the train and the cannibalism and everything, and him cutting off his own arm. Like, he radiates throughout the story, and it's both John Hurt's performance and Bong Joon-ho being an excellent writer that allows him to do that.
He's just able to write these moments that really capture what he's trying to say, but it makes you so, like, squeamish and uncomfortable. Like, he does a similar
He doesn't shy away.
He doesn't shy away. He a similar thing he does in Parasite, that he does even better in Parasite, where he talks about, like, class conscious. He does not hold back on how being in poverty will make you do terrible things to get ahead. And it's because you've been put in that system in the first. That's the whole thing with the train. Why the train works so well.
It's the train itself is the metaphor.
Well, this is the way the train is built. We have to go to the front of the train. We have to take control. But the train, they keep diminishing these people for being lower class on a system that they themselves built inherently.
Yeah. But we also get to my favorite character in the movie, and one of my favorite all-time actors. Fucking give it up for Song Kang-ho. Like, oh my god, he's so good in everything, isn't he? Frequent Bong Joon-ho collaborator. In fact, he's the lead in Parasite. And in this one, he's an amazing actor. He plays such a different character, because, he's like, high all the time, and he's like, the hedonist. I think when they pull him out of it, he's just like, oh, this is just what I gotta do to be free, until he sees an end to it, and he sees that not him, but his daughter can be saved. Which is he's got a great storyline. So he's doing all of this very emotional stuff, and then he also keeps up physically with everyone. He's got some great action set pieces himself. At the end when he's like fighting all the guys off in that corridor before the train. He's very good in it. He's my favorite performance in this movie. He's also one of I think the best actors working right now. And that's, Bong Joon-ho. There's a great story of him in this movie where his producer wanted to cut the scene where they go through the aquarium And so Bong Joon-ho...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bong Joon-ho was like, hey, my father was a fisherman. Like, this means a lot to me. And the producer was like, you know, family means a lot to me too, so I'll let you keep it. And then when asked about it, Bong Joon-ho was like, oh, I just made that shit up because it needed to be in the movie. And that producer was Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, God.
He just fucking lied right to Harvey Weinstein's face because he's like, this is important for the movie and you don't have a creative fucking bone in your body. So I'm going to say some bullshit that's going to let me keep it. And it is an important scene in the movie because it's how you see... It's one of the first moments where you're like, oh, these people live vastly different lives. You have all the beautiful fish and everything. Meanwhile, those guys are eating bugs in the bat. Like, it is an important scene.
Especially something that's so hard to maintain, like sushi.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like cattle. It's not just chickens. It takes a lot to maintain a farm and prepare the food.
Yeah.
Because especially raw fish.
Yeah, it's
like the utmost.
Requires skill and effort and resources to put in that they are putting in.
They're not
giving to the people in need.
Sustenance.
No,
they're eating
for
this for luxury.
That's such an important... Yeah, you're right. That's such an important part of the movie that Bong Joon-ho was like, I know this needs to be in it, so I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I need to say. Another great part about this movie, the action set pieces just keep getting better and better throughout it.
Oh, for sure. The point where they're shooting the guns at each other through the windows.
Yeah, when they're going, like, across the train.
Yeah.
That's a great set piece. The night vision goggle scene is great. You mentioned it before.
With the fire.
And this is where it pays to have someone like Chris Evans who has some of this, like, action star training in him already from doing Captain America. He convincingly throws these punches. And I mean, another great part of this is, man, these heroes die. You suffer a lot. I mean, Jamie Bell's character is so important, and then he's just dead. And it's not that he stops becoming important. Similar to Gillian, he remains important throughout the movie, but he dies like a third of the way in or something.
And you're not expecting it. You're like, oh, he's going to save him, right? Nope.
No.
He just dies.
Octavia Spencer, she bites it. Like, they kill good people. And that's important to show is that it's not... You know, the scenes where they're just mowing down these people we don't know is emotional because we're like, oh, they're killing the masses. But to kill Jamie Bell, it's like, okay, nobody is safe out of this movie. And then when the movie ends, two people, your lead, handsome leading man is dead.
Yeah.
People fucking drop. Good people drop because the powers needed them to die to maintain control.
But it also shows... Yeah, it also shows that this is why people do it for the next generation.
There is no change overnight. You're not doing this so tomorrow could be better. You're doing this so your children's life will be better.
Octavia Spencer's character and then Chris Evans' character, they push to the front partially because they're trying to find this one kid. They're fighting this army just to get back this one kid.
And that's what Revolution is all about. You know? It's not about seeing... It's something we talked about when we did the Embracing the Unknown episode. Where we talked about, like, assurance. Like, how you're never going to be sure that something is better. That you're fighting for something you can't guarantee. That's what this Revolution... That's what Revolution is, too. That's what Chris Evans and everyone is doing in this film. I love the set piece where they're bringing the eggs throughout the train, and then they just pull submachine guns. And just start
because they have the bullets in them.
Yeah. And then you see Allison, I believe it's Allison Pill is the actress's name, who's playing the teacher.
Which is also...
Just start mowing down, like, not paying attention to where she's shooting. She's probably hitting children.
With the kids, yes. But as long as she hits the people from the back of the train, that's all that matters.
It shows what's important to this higher class. this upper class is just like, as
also,
long as they're gone, it doesn't matter. And what's funny too, this higher class is just mowing down this lower class because they're like, oh, we're better than them. Not realizing they're being controlled by Wilfred, who looks at the upper class like how the upper class looks at the lower class.
Yeah.
Like, they're being controlled.
They think they have a lot more in common with Wilfred than they actually do. Which often happens when it comes to people without class consciousness. He treasures the lower class more as a tool because they supply the kids needed to keep the train running.
And don't get me wrong, he looks down on that lower class too, because he's like, oh, I can mow down some of them just to even out the the population and everything. But he also doesn't, like, this is where we get to heavy conversation. It is literally the Epstein class is Wilfred. They are the, we think we're better than even the higher class. And then these fucking bootlickers are like, oh, I got some money in my pocket, so we're friends. Meanwhile, they'll sell you down the river just the same. The revolutionaries in this film, they're not exactly protesting their way to the front, are they?
No. And you shouldn't.
You can't. It's not that you shouldn't.
They've tried.
Can't.
It doesn't work.
I might have said this exact quote on the podcast before, but the way I've always looked at it is the government isn't stripping rights because you forgot to ask for them. It's because they can. And unless you show force, show that you're willing to fight over it, willing to kill and die over it, that's the only way you gain it. Of course, we're only talking about a fictional movie right now. We're totally not talking about real life.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
But Bong Joon-ho does not shy away from being like, revolutionary isn't pretty. You know?
It's not. The main character even says that he kind of has not always been a super great person because the conditions on
was going to eat a baby!
Forced him into this position.
He was going to eat a baby!
Yeah. But he's still their leader.
Yeah. And he breaks down, like, this revolution his revolution wears on him. You know, at the end, he's breaking down, and he even thinks about agreeing to Wilfred at the end of it. Like, you can see
he considers it.
It's maybe my favorite Chris Evans acting choice, because it's a very small one, where he is considering it. Because it's better for him, but he has to be like, no, that's not what this is about.
And he just wants it to be over. That moment where he breaks down and talks about how he was going to eat the baby really stuck out to me, how it's like, people know the systems are bad, but they don't understand, like, why. Like, why these structures of violence force people into these situations, and they don't really question that. His
goal is to put Gilliam in charge.
Yes.
He doesn't realize that this whole thing needs to go until the last moment.
He's on some, like, no king shit.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, we need a new leader. And I understand why that's the thought. You want to assume that makes something better. But in order to change what you want to change, you can't just make a new engineer. You have to blow up the fucking train. And so they blow up the fucking train. This is, basic reading comprehension here, but the train itself is a metaphor for class societies.
Yes.
Like, they made the train to look like this. They made it in mind to have people at the back of the train as lower, like, And there's a big question I want to ask at the end of this. Do you think Gilliam was actually working with Wilfred, or was Wilfred telling that, like, lying?
I want to say it's true.
For some reason, I want to say it's a lie, but it's not like I have proof. I think I just don't want it to be true, you know what I mean? Which is such a great writing thing. Like, I'm like, no, it can't be. It's literally like...
for him and his relationship with Chris Evans' character. But honestly, like, it makes sense how he would have that connection with the front of the train to pass along the notes. And also, they would do some weird shit like that.
We do know that Wilfred was the one passing along those notes. The question really is, did Gilliam know who it was And was he planning these things? I think one of the reasons I say it might not be true is because where were they meeting? Gilliam had never been to the front of the train, and Wilfred had never been to the back of the train. Alright, so we took our first stop over at Snowpiercer. A great stop, if you will. I fucking love that movie. Now, what if we took the concepts of Snowpiercer, kept the train, and just made it better, and put zombies on it? And that's how we get Train to Busan, baby! Ah, this movie's so fucking good! We've talked about great movies on this podcast before. We've talked about some of my favorite movies. This is my favorite movie we've covered. Like, this movie just gets everything right. The director, Yeon Song-ho, this was his first live-action film he's ever directed. He is an animation director.
That's fucking crazy. The way the zombies look in these movies is just so visceral.
The stunt work in this movie is amazing, but the extras, the people like in the zombie makeup and everything, brilliant job by them. Wrangling extras is being an extra and wrangling extras is a hard gig that nobody thanks you for. So let's tip our caps off to them there. They do an excellent job with all of the extras in this film. They're amazing. And you really get the sense that everywhere they go, they are overrun.
The way they move, especially with their teeth, how they're always like, with the teeth, I don't know what it is with the teeth. They're always like, when they're trying to bite people and they're clacking the teeth. Ugh. And it's like, grosses you out.
The practical effects, unbelievable.
Incredible.
Incredible. They look amazing. Let's play a game called Can We Make KJ Cry on today's episode? The answer is probably yes. Ma Dong-seok, or Don Lee as he's known more in Western audiences. That man delivers one of my favorite performances in any movie I've ever seen. Because he's the perfect emblem for this film.
He has a lot of good scenes, yes.
He's a perfect, emblem for this film. He
is the thesis statement of this whole movie.
Because he is, this kind, caring, compassionate character who's got all these great emotional beats and everything, but also he's the one that's just a fucking badass.
Yes.
He's the one that's okay, time to walk into this train car, bop, bop, just knocking out zombies. Again, he elbow drops one, he picks up a zombie and holds back a horde after he's already been bit.
He goes down swinging!
Yeah. I'm sorry if this segment gets a little disjointed, but so much of this movie is just I want to talk about this. One of my favorite scenes in this film is when they learn that everyone, the three guys, their loved ones are 3 cars away from them. And there's just 3 cars full of zombies. And Sikwoo is okay, time to go get them. And even Sang-hwa, who we've learned is the badass at this point, we've already seen him elbow drop a zombie. He's the one that's a little hesitant, yo, we're gonna go through that, and Sikwoo, partially because of Sang-hwa's, leadership at this point, is we gotta do what we gotta do, and that's where they devise the plan where they start taping up their wrists, and they start just fucking going at the zombies. It is one of the best action set pieces, I think. If I keep saying something is one of the best I've ever seen in this movie, it's because this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Man, they just fucking go through those train cars.
Because of the earlier practical effects, it really sells the idea that, these people could die at, any time. Any time they go through another train car, this could be, the end of the movie.
To continue with these two characters, they both have, the biggest sacrifices at the end. Sang-hwa, if he wanted to, could have survived this whole movie. Probably with no issue. I imagine him just beating the shit out of some zombies, fucking prime Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he would have been good. That's not who he is.
No, his wife needed to get... And his scene there... Okay, so fun fact about me is I work in New York City, meanwhile I live in New Jersey, so I take a train every single day. So I was watching these movies on a train. I watched it.
Train to Busan, I could see that being a little scary.
There was about a second of this is a little unnerving. But I also don't like crying in front of people. Dude, when Sang-hwa was his sacrifice, I was literally there
when Seok-woo started to turn, that got me.
It gets me again at the end. Do you know what gets me with Seok-woo? It is...
They were almost there.
It's
They were so close.
It's that, what it also is... He has to run away from his daughter so he doesn't hurt his daughter, and he's in this panic, and he's crying, and,
the daughter's crying.
The daughter's crying. The actors, both of them, the little kid in this movie, fucking great performance. Which you don't get from kids.
Oh my god.
She's amazing. But he, the actor for Siak Woo is also amazing. He's breaking down, and then he thinks about the birth of his child, and he calms. And he smiles. That's what does it. That's what really got me.
Yeah. And then you think about what's most important. And, like, I'm not a parent. You're not a parent. No. I mean, like, I'm a cat parent, but it's
yeah, that's a way different.
With any parents, you hear, you know, when you think back on, like, this moment, and then you get that in this movie, you see it.
Yeah, and it's both of their sacrifices.
Just a sad scene.
And then the ending of, like... They're gonna shoot this woman, this pregnant woman and her child, because they can't tell if it's a zombie or not. And then what saves them?
What does save them?
The kid starts singing.
The kid does start singing, yes!
The song she had stopped singing in the recital because she was saving it for her father. That's what saves them.
Oh,
they are literally
God.
pulling the trigger when they start to hear it, and they stop, and they're like, oh, we have to go. Everything in this movie comes back.
Top 10 people you want to beat up in a movie is number 1 is that guy.
I don't even think he's number 1 in this movie. The fucking businessman in this movie. That guy, you just want to fucking...
yes!
Oh, that cocksucker.
Wasn't he the one that bit?
He bites Siak Woo. Yep.
Yes, he's number 1. He
also, remember, he grabs the teenage, like the teenage girl, and throws her into the zombies.
He does.
And the fucking train coordinator he sacrificed. This fucking cocksucker is like a cartoon villain.
He just sacrifices... He's literally the opposite of Siak Woo.
Yeah, and that's, you know... Again, a lot of this movie is... The people that survive because they have someone willing to sacrifice themselves for them.
Because they have a community.
Because they built this community. A bunch of ragtag groups, you know, there's a what they consider this crazy homeless guy. He sacrifices himself for them too.
He does.
Like, the people that make it the farthest.
Because there's more in common between each other than they think.
Mm-hmm. This movie just does so much right. Talks about so many correct things in humanity. You know what I mean? And I think that's its strongest suit. While also having unbelievable action set pieces. Everything we talked... The cinematography in this movie is great, too. The set design in this movie is brilliant. They made an action movie that's just on a train that also works as a horror movie and also works as an emotional thriller. Like, it just works on so many levels, but its commentary on humanity, to me, is its strongest point.
It's another movie that uses, like, the train as, like, a really good jumping off point to talk about some, like, really big, like, higher concept, like, shit when it comes to, like, how people work. It's
weird to say, but these two movies needed to be on a train.
It's also the claustrophobia of a train.
Especially in Train to Busan.
Like, yes.
When they're locked in the bathrooms.
There's just nowhere to fucking run.
Or like when they're going through the tunnels and they're climbing on the, like, luggage racks.
Yes.
Like, there are zombies there. You have fucking nothing else to do. I mean, that's the scene we were talking about before where they start just beating up the zombies. That happens because it's like, well, there's nothing else we can do. Time to just fucking go through them.
Yeah, there's literally nowhere else to move.
Which, again, is maybe the most unnerving part of it when I'm watching this movie leaving New York Penn Station, where I swear to God, people will kick a baby to get one seat closer or whatever. Like,
pretty much.
Like,
everyone turns into that business guy.
Yeah, watching both of these movies on a train and then looking around and being like, wow, there's fucking really nowhere to go here, huh? Especially, I was watching the end of Train to Busan and someone was sitting, like, next to me. And so it really was like, man, if something pops off, I gotta hope this motherfucker moves quick. But so, of course, with Train to Busan, there's talk about an American version of it. And I want to hear your thoughts on it.
We don't need it.
I think I'm half agreeing with you. My thing...
Well, we have this one.
We do have this one. So I have two... I have two thoughts for the pro... And I'm not going to say I am pro this, because I think the way they would remake it, I don't want to see. But if there was a filmmaker who came in and was like, hey, I have something... You know, I love Train to Busan. There's something I want to do with it that's new and original. I'd like to see that. If you're going to remake a film, you have to have an original idea for it. If you have something interesting, I'm willing to give you the grace of it. The other idea I have, there's an audience that won't watch it with the subtitles. So I think bringing that story over to the US, just so more people could be exposed to its ideas. And I think this movie has a lot of ideas that an American audience can use, especially ones that won't necessarily watch a movie with subtitles in it. Now again, I don't think studios are really going to do that either way. But that's what, if you are going to do it, that's how I would want to see it. I think we've reached our destination. Do we have any last thoughts on these beautiful train movies?
We're in Korea now. I like trains.
I also like trains. Look, I love these movies. I think we had a great conversation with them. Maybe we should have done, like, Bullet Train instead, so we're not doing two of the heaviest movies we can imagine.
No, it had to be this way.
We could have done Bullet Train and be like, that was awesome, but no, I had to cry instead.
It's not, like, as good as these movies.
Okay, that's Coughing Baby, Hydrogen Bomb there. What great movies. And what a great mode of transportation. Join us again next week when we are talking about some live-action cartoons. Because Coyote vs. Acme's finally coming out. Finally. Yay. So we are going to talk about Space Jam and Back in Action, because we already did the one good animated live-action film. So we got to do two of the bad ones.
What? Space Jam bad? Space Jam good! I watch Space Jam all the time!
Space Jam bad. Anyway, Ashton, thank you for joining me and talking about some trains and crying.
Thank you. It's definitely been a vibe.
Definitely too many. I've been KJ Collelo.
Too many cries. I'm Ashton Byrne, and this is Luna down here. She's asleep. Luna. Luna.
Bella ciao, y'all.
Bella ciao. Bella ciao.